गुड मॉर्निंग एंड वेलकम टू गना शॉट। गना शॉट में आप सबका स्वागत है। Is Iran heading towards hyperinflation? That's the question I'm going to ask. And let's see whether we can answer it or not. And why? Why this question? Because if Iran is heading into hyperinflation, there will be a regime change. As it is, things are bad. We spoke about it, Iran revolution and all that. Whether you call it a revolution, unrest, riots, everything, it's already a week plus, right? It started last Sunday, not the not the day before yesterday Sunday, but the Sunday before that. Today the 9th, 10th day, and things have not improved. But things have not gone completely south. Let let's put that thing in perspective. But something has happened in between. Venezuela has happened in between, and USA is riding a tiger. So all these factors put Iran on the horns of a dilemma. So let's examine uh, as to what's going to happen in Iran. What's next in Iran? That's the thing. I read this fantastic article in New York Times about 3 days back. Iran's dual challenge: unrest at home, threat of strikes from abroad. That's the worst thing. And I said that earlier. What is this unrest at home all about? It's about economy. It's just economy. Why the economy has collapsed? Because of sanctions, everything. Almost everything in Iran is imported. They can do very little of their own, except Shahid drones which they're sending. And they're caught in a situation where their economy is unlikely to recover. In fact, it has been going from bad to worse. We know that. And as per many people, the Islamic Republic is now in a survival mode. Will it survive or not? Because I think, personally, the push to shove is very near. And if it happens, it's going to be tectonic for most of us. Okay? At least in this region. You heard what happened in Venezuela, and what has Venezuela said? There's a domino effect. I don't think the domino effect will be in Cuba. Cuba will take time. Cuba or Colombia will take time. Even Greenland is going to take time. Yeah, I mean, by now we know Mr. Trump is no fool. He's doing everything deliberately. He's absolutely wielding power of USA, which people said, oh, it's declining. Sorry, that's all gone. Yesterday news, ever. So if will he turn the screws on here? And I'll tell you why. And this is something you have to understand. A lot of people have been talking of de-dollarization, A, B, C, D, E, and that America's hold on the financial system is at risk. Yeah, it is at risk. There's no doubt. It's at risk from BRICS. It's at risk from its own inflation and all that. Right? How does that go? The fundamental of the system is the petrodollar. Petrodollar is the basics of the entire system. Okay, one of these days I'll do a program what the petrodollar is, but essentially the energy output is linked to the dollar. As simple as that. And uh, oil is always traded in dollars, no other currency. That's the petrodollar. So the moment you do that, you have to go back to the reserve currency. Now, what has happened in the Venezuela strike? I've been telling this quite some time. The Venezuela affair is not about oil. Oil is one part of the story. He'll get a oil thing, but it's more of the petrodollar. Control of Venezuela oil, because that oil coming to USA Anyway, some is coming already through Chevron. The Chevron has not left USA. More will come with Exxon, yeah, all that, but that will take time. And there's another problem with today oil at $60 a barrel. Anything happens, you know, uh, there'll be a glut in the thing, and whose economy will be hit? US economy. So they don't want to reduce the cost of oil. That's absolutely no go for the US economy. So that oil is going to be there. But what is being protected is the petrodollar. Now come to Iran. Why Iran? Okay, right from Mediterranean to Pakistan, every place is under US grip. All major oil producers of the Middle East are under US grip. They dare not go to the petrodollar. The only one who's been doing that is Iran. So Iran also, there's a regime change, and it comes. Then you're looking at the petrodollar kahani being 100%. If that is so, the reserve currency of this world will remain dollar for a long time to come. You think I'm talking nonsense? There are people talking of this, and I'm very sure. So it's beneficial for USA to topple the regime in Iran. But will it do the Venezuela route? It's already done what it has to by putting those mother bombs into Natanz and you know Fordo. It's done that trick. Now Iranians have spent their money on nuclear things, which has gone. Their army gone. Ballistic missiles gone. They would be there. Some will be there, but how much? They don't have the money. They don't have money for bread. So that is why it's in the survival mode. And the official exchange rate between Iran and one US dollar was 42,000, but that's only for official thing. Today it is 1.4 million real for one US dollar. Okay. A- Average uh, wage of a Iranian is about $400 to $500. Okay. And rice in Iran is $1 to $2 per kg. It could be more, but I'm two. If it's only $2 per kg, just think if the chap is to earn $400 to $500, uh, what does he do? Okay, now that's fine. What if that hyperinflates and rice becomes overnight? It goes to $5 a kg or $10 a kg. Have you thought of it? People will be out on the streets. So regime change is inherent. Then that a easier way of doing things, or okay? Now let us see what is hyperinflation and all that, and I'll go about it in a particular manner which I've understood. I'm sure all of you will like it. There've been riots at many places. People, a lot of videos are on social media of you know people burning things, yeah, war and all that, but that's not much. It's not much. Some protesters have been beaten up, some tear gas, yeah, wo. As of today, the last count, about 10 to 12 people have died in Iran. It's not a big count. And about 50 to 60, more than 50 to 60 towns and provinces have been affected by this protests, unrest. And the thin line between unrest and riot is being breached in a few places. Okay. Now, interesting thing, and this is where things get interesting. The interesting thing is the regime doesn't have the current regime doesn't have a solution. In fact, Peskeshia has gone on record to say he's got no ideas. And he's very clear. He says any policy in the society that is unjust is doomed to fail. And he's gone to say, except that we must listen to the people. Even this Khamenei, who's a hardliner, he said, okay, protests are okay, but riots I will do with a hard line. I'll hit. Now, when will this protest turn into riots is a fine line. Uh, whatever one sees is it's nothing is receding, nothing is going forward. It's simmering, the simmering milk. And of course, Trump's warning is already there. They say if they're shooting and violence and all that, locked and ready. I'm locked and ready to go. And now with what's happened in Venezuela, how do the Iranians react? If tomorrow they come, swoop in, pick up this fellow and go, they might not do it. They might even ask the Israelis to do it. And they'll not do picking up and all. One missile will come and end of Khamenei. So that's the thing. Okay, now let me go give you a larger understanding of the whole story. What are the times when hyperinflation has taken place? When? Okay, Hungary. This is in 45 to 46, Second World War. Okay, inflation was. Can you imagine 41.9 quadrillion percentage? Doubling every 10 hours. Okay, I mean every 10 to 15 hours, the inflation used to double. Zimbabwe, 2008, 7, 8. Okay, it was 79.6 billion percent. And the percentage of inflation used to double every 24 hours. Okay, the whole story was, of course, of land reforms, the war. But Zimbabwe was a country which had food. It was food secure. It's a food secure country. As a result, they could survive. And Mugabe survived. Okay. Yugoslavia. Right. Yugoslavia 92 94 last century. It was 313 million peak monthly inflation. And every 1.5 day it used to double. What happened to the Yugoslavia? It's off the face of the earth. It just broke up. We don't know what all Serbia, EU. Germany, 22-23, Weimar Republic. Okay. It was 29.5 1,000%. Okay. Every 3 days, the double prices were doubling. Greece, 41 to 44. Okay. At that time, 13.8 thousand%. These are the worst cases of hyperinflation. In all cases, the regime change occurred except Zimbabwe. Zimbabwe, Mugabe held on. But eventually he was thrown out. Okay. So, are we there? This is what we need to understand. Okay. What is the comparison in Iran to. Okay. This is what we have to understand. Hyperinflation is defined as the monthly inflation rate exceeding 50%. If there's more than 50% monthly inflation, it is hyperinflation. Iran is anywhere between 42 to 48%. It's just on the verge of hyperinflation. Okay, in 2025, it was 42.2%. Okay, but it is much lower at this point of time than others, which I showed. Currency devaluation. Okay, Iranian real crashed to a record low of 1.4 to 1.5 million per USD. When? Last week. Okay, this is a 40% devaluation. It's been described as macro fiscal entropy. Oh, it's not at reached that level where it's prices are doubling every hour. But we'll come to that. Understand the theory behind what's happening. Because if you don't understand the theory behind what's happening, then you're then talking imaginatively, out of pure imagination, driven by social media and all that. Food prices. Okay, food prices also indicate hyperinflation and all that. Now, in 2025, certain amount of food inflation went to 72 to 75%. Now, if your food is inflating 72 to 75%, your purchasing power is going down very fast. You can understand. So things are, Iran is on the edge of hyperinflation. And the thing about hyperinflation is what little I have heard and read and all that. I'm not an economist, but general. When your money has no value, it's hyperinflation. And when your money has no value, you'll get to the streets. Very simple. There, people are on the verge of going to see their lives earning gone. Their lives earning will not be worth anything. And when that happens, boy, there has to be a regime change in Iran, considering the fact that there are outside pressures. Okay, what is the current one? Annual inflation rate is 42% at this point of time. Food is 72 to 75%. When the moment it reaches 100%, every month the prices are doubling. Oh, these have got multiplicative effects. Exchange rate, I said 1.45 million per real. Okay. GDP has contracted by 2.8%. Very clear. Everything is destroyed 3 months back in Iran. Right. Poverty level is 27 to 50% of the population. And if this hyperinflation continues or it goes closer to hyperinflation, this poverty level will go up. Yet poverty level goes to a level where it can't be controlled, there will be a revolution. Okay, that's why I said, when I did the last thing with Sandeep Unitan and I also did Iran Revolution 2.0, the next 48 to 96 hours are important. That's gone. Iran Revolution 2.0 might not happen, but I have my doubts. Uh, but two, three things have happened. Venezuela happened in between. That's why I said the threat from outside has increased. And Mr. Netanyahu has started giving direct messages to Iranians. And Iran is a divided society. There are a lot of Iranians who are not interested in the hardline regime. Of course, remember, Iran has a lot of people who are hardliners. But just because you're a hardliner or not a hardliner doesn't stop regime change from happening. If the regime change happens, the theocracy goes. Okay, there's another thing. I'm going to go off on a tangent before this thing. What do Iran people want? Do they want a theocracy as it is today? Or do they want a monarchy to get that Shah back? Or do they want democracy? Unfortunately for them, they really don't have many options except theocracy or monarchy. And the monarchy is someone which has not been in this country for from 79. And all those people don't know anything about what's happening in Iran. They don't know anything about Iran. They're completely disconnected because all that money, they're living a good life. That's about all. And There are no politics in Iran. So even if there's a regime change, what do people do? Okay. Will it just be that Khamenei goes and another theocrat comes in? So these are the things which are on the cards in Iran. But let me tell you, things are not going to change. I'm not talking about the society, economy. And I'll tell you why. Okay. Why is Iran not hyperventilating? Because it's still got a oil revenue. It's got some structural, resilience and monetary control, and the leadership, the president, Peskashian, seems to be a balanced guy. He's handling the situation well for the situation in which Iran is. Oil is there, but what if tomorrow oil embargo comes in? That's the next thing. If oil embargo comes in and Iran is not allowed to sell oil to China, which is well on the cards with what's happened in Venezuela. And we'll come to know about this in a couple of days. If USA makes a move and it blocks Iran oil, remember what I'm speaking today. Regime change is on. Okay? So that's how it is at this point of time. So growing domestic unrest with external military threat. No one's going to go and invade Iran. Maximum there'll be a couple of missile strikes and a oil embargo or blockade. Okay. Now the thing is, they don't have a economic strategy for. They don't have a strategy for economic collapse or preventing economic collapse. Now, Iran can avert all this if they go back and say, okay, we'll go by the nuclear thing, yeah, war and all that, but that'll be a climb down. Okay, so that will not happen. And most importantly, in Iran's case, neither China nor Russia are helping them. China, though we know, you see the commentary from China. Tomorrow I'll be doing a thing on China, India, and USA and Venezuela. The Venezuelan effect on India, China, and USA. We'll talk of it tomorrow. Okay. The fact is that China is absolutely caught flat footed by this Venezuelan thing. They don't know what to do. I don't know whether that fellow, that team which went in, Z's personal thing has come out from there. I don't think he's come out. He's there. Right? Now, in that sort of condition, how can Iran get out of this economic trap? The Middle East people will never allow it to happen. Middle East people will never allow Iran out of this thing. In any case, UAE and Saudi Arabia are in their own war against Yemen, and in Sudan, and in Libya. There is something happening. They've got their hands full. They're not interested in bailing Iran out. Do you think Pakistan can bail them out? Out of question. China has never bailed anyone out, and this is the thing which I'm going to talk of tomorrow. China has not bailed anyone out, not helped anyone. Russia is too weak to help anyone. So what happens to Iran? Of course, there is a thing which, if you compare the previous two uprisings, you know, 22 was that Masa Amini, 22 23, Masa Amini was taken into custody, 19-year-old girl, they killed her. Stupid. Heartless also. And there were protests. There were violent protests which rocked Iran then. You go back to 2019, and I spoke of all this last time. In 2000, but that was due to high gasoline prices, just gasoline prices. At that time, things were bad. Things are not so bad now, not yet. from what did the last thing to now, people are not come to the streets, people have not gone off the streets. 50-50. You know, I feel that Iran's rope is burning from both ends. I have a feeling that USA and uh, Israel are putting a pressure on Iran so that it implodes. How that pressure will increase economically is to be seen. Oil. The fundamental thing is oil. Okay. Now, the thing is, Iran's closest ally was Maduro, right? That fellow has been captured. Now, Iran's leadership is completely rattled, shocked, and they're worried कि भाई कल के दिन some special forces will come, pick up Khamenei and go. Okay. Now, if you go back, see here the way things have gone. What happened in Syria? Bashar al-Assad's economy fell, chaos, and that Al-Jolani chap took over. All handled by whom? USA. Syria. Right. There's another interesting thing. There's a chap which I caught this from one of the guys who's analyzing Iran. He says when the anti riot police, security forces, and the military are all struggling for their livelihood, internal lines of defense collapse. Remember, the guys who are to maintain law and order are themselves struggling to survive. So there's discontent, internal, and it is happening. The pressure cooker, there's no let off at this point of time, right? Uh, in fact, whatever the government so far has done to ease the situation, the current economic situation, it has not worked. They changed the governor of the bank. Just by changing the governor of the bank, what happens? Nothing happens. That fellow has got no new policy. He can't put a new policy, right? They can do very little, nothing. There are no ideas with Iran to come out of that problem. Okay. Now, Khamenei, he said rioters must be put in place, but let them protest otherwise. But like I said, the distinction between the rioters and the protesters is very little. When a protest will turn into a riot, one doesn't know. A trigger. And if two, three riots happen in two, three places, it will just spread. Of course, Iran has blocked all communications within, no social media, everything. That's why you don't find much coming out of Iran. But you don't know in a pressure cooker situation what is happening. If the shops don't open, they're in a bigger problem. Okay. Yeah. This 4-point formula of Iran has completely collapsed. Those militias are gone, non state allies have gone, their ballistic missiles have gone, nuclear program has gone, and the idea to dominate the Islamic world is all dead. So they're defenseless. They're not defense against USA and Israel. And I wouldn't be surprised if Saudi Arabia tells Israel, do what you want. You see, if you analyze that Yemen war, UAE has taken a step back. They've said, look, Saudi Arabia can do what it wants. So if they all get together and push Iran down the line or down the cliff, they can. Right? You look at all these guys. Has China helped Iran? No. In any case, China's value is heavily devalued today. No one trusts China. I mean, that's very clear. After what happened to Maduro, who'll trust China? They'll not trust no one. I mean, any country which has trusted China has gone down. You name one country which has dealt with China after BRI has progressed economically. And I'll talk of this tomorrow again with more details. Russia is in a mess of its own. If it starts doing all this, it'll collapse there. And they don't want to let the Ukraine front go. Israel is after them. USA and Israel are after this regime. Saudis, like I said, won't help. Turkey also is in a poor shape. Economically, Turkey is in a poor shape. And Pakistan, uska neighbor. So if you look at all the guys around Iran, no one is going to help them. So if no one is going to help them, where is Iran going? So if I conclude, this is all I have to say today. If I have to conclude today, Iran is on the edge. Okay, Iran is on the edge. There is, it's not hyperinflation, on the edge of hyperinflation. It's not unrest. There's plenty of unrest which is spreading. It's not, there are no riots. Will this unrest turn into riots? Possible. And there's a linkage between the riots and the hyperinflation and the economic thing. And they don't have a solution for it. And there's an external pressure which is coming from USA and Israel. Right? Will Iran go down? We'll have to see. Will China have the guts to come and bail out Iran? Or will China do this? For whatever reason, is to be seen. But has China done anything of this kind anytime? The answer is no. So this is where Iran is. I said I'll do a follow up after a few days, and that's why I thought today I must do this follow up, right? Because yeah, we'll keep talking Venezuela. We'll stop talk of Venezuela in the evening. Right? I have interesting people to talk of, Gyanis, who will give different views. Okay, and all that. So till then, uh, this is where Iran is, and we'll see where it goes. Okay. Uh, Thanks a lot for joining in, and have a great day. I'll take a few questions now. Okay. Thanks a lot, McNewn. Armenian Apostolic Church, one of the oldest, celebrates Christmas. Thanks a lot. Happy Christmas to all of you. Wishing from Armenia to highly respected general and brothers. Thanks a lot. Thanks a lot from Armenia. So grateful to you. Okay, let me write. Yeah, thank you for your service and attention to this matter. Yeah, we have to keep track. It's on our thing. You people always want masala. I would prefer to have a balanced approach to the whole thing. Sri Devika, good morning. Sunil also good morning. Sorry was not able to watch live yesterday. That's okay. Have a look at it. I hope you liked the whole thing today. Yesterday with Raj Shukla and Hari Mohan. It was good. I know it. We gave different viewpoints, which is the way it should be. And we focused on what we should do because what lessons largely. We'll continue because what has happened in Venezuela is tectonic and it's going to have repercussions. Yeah, yeah, Abhishek, uh, Jai Bharat. I think Iran is already in the midst of hyperinflation. They see, I've shown you, it's not it. That's why I took the trouble of comparing figures and all that. But whether it'll jump into hyperinflation or not is a matter of uh, a few days. We'll know. If it goes into hyperinflation, I'm very clear that the regime change will happen. But let's see. Ram Ram, thanks a lot, Vivek, and good morning, Kiran. Kumar also, good morning, right? Vijay, I think Venezuela problem will blow up on US face into a civil war. There is no regime change, and in Iran's case, if regime change did not happen, now it's failure. Vijay, you're having an extreme view about all these things. Okay, uh, I don't think it will blow up in US face in a hurry. Uh, Let me put it across my own view about what's happened in Venezuela. it's got an effect. I told you why USA is doing control of oil, petrodollar, larger. He's achieved that. And as far as Venezuela is concerned, he's not gone in. He's that Delcy Rodriguez is still there. He'll continue with her. He'll continue with her. उसको क्या फर्क पड़ता है? What happens in Venezuela? As far as he can control Venezuelan oil, you remember, see that you have to understand what Trump has done. Trump has continued with that communist regime and that whole thing. They said you want to continue. I will be an offshore thing. I'll control our oil and Chinese out, Russians out. Bas. So why will he fail? He Why will he fail? Look at it. Venezuela will be in a problem, yes, and Trump has not put boots on ground. So understand what's happened. Then you'll understand. Okay, Ashish, OPEC countries enjoying life via petrodollar more than ordinary US citizens who may be living pay. Yeah, that's okay. But just think if the petrodollar goes, forget about Middle East and OPEC countries, the USA economy will collapse. Yeah, Arsenal, good morning. Thanks a lot. Was the excellent and fantastic session of latest Gunner site yesterday. Master stroke of a session. Folks, please watch it for sure. Ideas pour, literally free flowing. Yeah, we do that. We're going to have tomorrow also, no? With Dushyant and Rajiv, not today, tomorrow, day after. By then, things will flow one step ahead. Weimar Republic is often quoted. No, but I've shown you more than Weimar Republic. Okay. Weimar is quoted because that's when that collapsed. Then Hitler came, and because of the Second World War and Hitler, it got, I think. But what happened in Zimbabwe was pretty bad. Possibility of US using this Venezuelan oil as a bargaining chip with China to get rare earths. Possibility of using Venezuelan oil to get EU support in nuclear. All this will happen. All this will happen. Let's not have a doubt. Yeah. I have a question. My question is that I have a female Shia friend, and she was complaining that because of USA, we are not able to visit Mashhad, and they are waiting visa from GOI. I really don't know. I mean, I really won't be able to comment on it. I don't think GOI will visa from GOI. That means coming to India. I don't think we have a problem giving Iranians visas. I mean, I won't know. I'll be very honest about it. Hyperinflation is a death spiral. You can't, yeah, that I've explained. Possibility of using Venezuelan oil to get Turkey into US fold completely. No, that Turkey is gone round a bend. Huh? Yeah, Turkey is gone round a bend. I explained her that it is because you are an Indian citizen and hence GOI is worried about, oh, she's an Indian citizen, is it? About safety, but she blames GOI. I don't think so. I don't think we don't want to put them there in a problem. Okay. I think that's the way it is. And there must be a foreign policy about all this. People don't believe that ideologies matter, but Islamic extremism has ruined many countries. If Iran were secular, it would be one of the wealthiest countries in the world. Whole world was Islam. Yeah, I agree with you. But then, when Iran was under the Shah, uh, a, a elite was doing very well, but the majority of Iran was not doing well. That's why I said Iran future, is it theocracy, is it monarchy, or is it democracy? Are they ready for democracy? Is there any vehicle to get them democracy? थियोक्रेसी तो है ही, मुल्लाओं का राज है. वो तो तैयार बैठा है कहीं स्विट्जरलैंड में टू कम बैक एंड. बट व्हाट अबाउट डेमोक्रेसी? Iranian people deserve democracy, and they're not getting it. And they're one guys who will accept democracy. A lot of Iranians are staying afloat because of a family member overseas. Yeah, I agree with you. Do you think Venezuela was sequencing to free up for Iran general? Yep. Next stop is Iran. I don't think they'll go to Cuba, Cuba, but Iran is the next domino to fall. Yeah, because Iran is in turmoil, Trump took his chance in Venezuela. They're disconnected. For a country like America with its overwhelming military power, what could Iran have done to Venezuela? Help him out? No. Some Hezbollah type of action would be there, but that's about all. Some Hezbollah was there in Venezuela. I don't think they could help each other. They were more interconnected through oil business. Iran was helping Venezuela in oil. So far, according to Trump, Cuba, Colombia, Greenland, Canada are all on the menu. देखो ट्रम्प ने जो बोला बोला है but see what he will do. Let us see. Okay, this is a uh, fruit ready for the picking. Iran implemented complete Islamization, and this is the result. I believe. Yeah, I agree with you. Yeah, educational institutions, if there's anything to learn from Russia and China, it's that they've kept religious institutions under control. Yep, I agree. Middle East. China and Russia seem scooped some silver out of Venezuela only today that they would do. That's minor. Can it be replicated in Napak or Bangladesh or both? Possible. Bangladesh. My view is Bangladesh. Bangladesh is ripe for hyperinflation. Okay. Yeah. Especially if you don't help them. If you don't help them, they're in for a toss. Not all Irani government is. No, okay. American long range refueling planes are already moving to Europe. Let's see. Yeah, all these have come out to in social media, but I don't know. Oil, food import, drought, and water scarcity. Yep. Brazil, cleverest solutions in history. Switch currencies overnight, create a fake currency called the yep. Let's see. I heard you mention petrodollar to be the reason for Venezuela raid. In that case, all the oil from see, they don't have to export. Please understand, they don't have to export oil. They need to control it. The moment you control it and discount this freebies which Chinese were getting, they kick Chinese out and get China under control. And if the biggest crude oil deposit in the world is in their control, plus whatever is there in the Middle East, the petrodollar is safe. Yeah, as simple as that. The consumption of oil will be as per market principles. And if you get all the oil out of Venezuela and put it in the market, there'll be a drop in oil revenues. If oil revenues fall, USA will get hit. He'll not do that. Be rest assured, he'll not do that. They'll take over the oil and tighten it. As simple as that. And then they'll say, go back to the market. They'll put caps on Venezuelan oil, how much they can sell, and they'll put whom all they can sell, and they'll control that oil market. Control of oil market gives them control. Please understand this. It is not production of oil which gives them control or saves the petrodollar. Control of oil, control of global prices. That gives them control. I mean, think if USA has to come out of its $33 trillion debt, what they talk of, what should happen? Oil prices should go up. Do you expect them to go up? Let's see what happens. If Iran gets a mullah regime and becomes free, could Pakistan be dumped by America? Possible. But I don't think Pakistan will be dumped because they'll need Pakistan to keep a check on India and China. The thing is different. Yeah, Merry Christmas wishes to you, McNewn. Thanks a lot. Yeah, yeah. Vikrant, thanks a lot for your super sticker. Can India help Iran to go back to its Zoroastrian roots, which may help us in the. See, you're asking a very long question. First and foremost, the situation in Iran has to change for that to happen. That's the thing. Forget about go to the Zoroastrian roots. Even if revival of Zoroastrianism comes in Iran, it will be better. That's the thing. Social media has made us accessible to likes of you and others. Now common people are learning how. Yeah, thanks a lot. And I started this whole story only because of this. Because I felt that in India, people were not very well tuned to geopolitics and how India's interests are and all. And people were just talking crap. And that's why I started this channel. Petrodollar was important while oil was considered a scarce resource. But today there are more than 50 plus OPEC countries. Petrodollar is important, is a question. Well, you might think so, but if unless you control this, look, you have to understand one thing. The petrodollar is a fundamental of dollar being the reserve currency of the world. Okay, please understand that. As far as petroleum is traded only in dollars, that's the petrodollar fundamentally. Fundamentally, what is petrodollar? Petroleum is traded in dollars. It cannot be traded in other currencies. What was China doing? It was undercutting this. It was taking from Venezuela, it was taking from Iran, it was taking from Russia. And the settlement is not in dollars. It is settlement is in yuan, whatever it is. In Venezuela, though, it was oil for loan. You give them a loan. China used to give a loan to do something. Chinese construction companies used to go and execute that thing. And the Chinese used to be paid. And for all the work they did, they used to take oil free of cost or equivalent, whatever, at discount rates. So China was circumventing the petrodollar. That is why Venezuela has happened. And that is why Iran is likely to happen. They want to use oil to de-dollarize, as you can see in the precious metal markets this past week, fluctuations that US, yeah, they're trying to short the metals. I agree with you. If you visit Iran as an Indian, it creates problems if you apply for US visa. Possible. Thanks a lot, Malika, for joining in. Right, as they say, Iran is heading towards a stagflation. What is stagflation? Stagnation plus inflation is stagflation. Okay, that's how it is. Stagnation plus inflation is stagflation. But the fact is that Iran is, you call it stagnation, you call it inflation, you call it hyperinflation. Things are getting worse. The line between hyperinflation and the current rate of inflation is very less. That's what I've said. So it might just go up. Iran is a sitting duck, but too big to control by others. US interest is to cut China oil supply. Yeah, I agree with you. Venezuela done. If Iran stops oil to China, then yeah, I completely agree with you. Yeah, now the two source of energy literally gone. Will China? Yeah. All are interconnected. We'll talk of China tomorrow. What's the effect on China and all that? Iran has begun to crumble due to they all corrected. It's like dominoes. एक गिराओ तो दूसरा गिरेगा, दूसरा गिराओ तो तीसरा गिरेगा. The first domino to follow is Syria. Now it is Venezuela, this will go next, or this or Cuba. Not more than Cuba, it is Colombia. Greenland will be something different. The whole story will be different. US is working for, yeah. Yeah, your internet service seems to be fluctuating. I can do very little. Yesterday too, it was fluctuating at the beginning of your conversation with others. Yeah, I think I'll have to do something about that. I'll do it. Zoroastrianism is monotheism and it's included in the Bible. Cyrus the Great is, yeah. Yeah, perfect, sir. Learn the Chinese threat to petrodollar first on gonna show. Yeah, yeah. That's how it is. Right? Okay. Thanks a lot for joining in. Right? Uh yeah, salute, sir. Thorium energy should make us insulated from world energy market. Your views? It will not. And let me tell you this, Srinivas, because the thorium cycle will take a long time to happen. And the investment is huge, and you need to have adequate plutonium to get the thorium cycle going fully. You don't have. It's going to take another 5 years before the first thorium energy starts coming, and then you have to replicate it. So it'll be another 5, 10 years more, maybe, when you start seeing the effect. But you see, the thing is, by then India would have developed so much that your energy requirements will go up. So thorium will offset your a lot of your requirements, but it will not uh, clean up your requirements. It will not be the solution to your requirements. That's the thing. You'll still need gas. You'll need still need solar. You'll need still need oil. You'll still need coal. Biggest point is USA has gained control of almost all the world. Yeah, I agree. And if Iran goes completely, yeah. Thanks a lot. Uh, if China and US drop G2, there'll be more wars. Oh yeah, there's no G2. Forget it. Okay, chalo. Thanks a lot for joining in. Have a great day. Enjoy yourself. We'll get back in the evening and we'll discuss more of Venezuela because it's important. Till then, Jai Hind to all of you.